How to self-heal. Let's get to it. So, it's not a once and done. It's going to be something that you start and commit to pretty much for the rest of your life. Yes, there will be moments, crescendos, I like to call them, crisis points, which push us into this position of self-healing or start us thinking about it. My wish for the world is that there is more education out there for people to take charge of their health at an earlier point in time. So we grow up knowing there's a lot we can do, which on a practical level, if you're in the UK, takes the pressure off the NHS. And it's also just kind of nice to know that, a bit like car maintenance, you can actually sort yourself out um, if you need to. Sorry, I'm messing around with the camera a bit here. So the ingredients, and it's not foolproof. I'm not going to give you these ingredients and say this is it, this is going to do it. Because what I've discovered about self-healing is it's a long process. It's a long game, but it's so much more fulfilling than anything else. And you get to enjoy your life more every second of every day because you make choices that benefit your health and well-being. So the components as I see them are this, and this is what I did in no particular order. We have movement. Are you moving? Do you have a conscious personal movement program that you're engaging in? Whether it be group classes, solo walks, music on in the kitchen, dancing around in your own way, lifting weights. Everyone will tell you that theirs is the best form of movement, whatever they're teaching. Throw that out the window and do the one that you want to go to. That's it. Really. It is so simple. Yes, they all have different benefits, but if you don't like doing them, you're not going to stick with it. I was on LinkedIn last week, saw a post somebody had said, I was absolutely horrified. She sat next to someone who had told her she needed to go to the gym. I, I was horrified on so many levels. And I made a comment and I said, I totally disagree as a movement person. I think if you love your body and you are happy doing what you do, that's what you stick with. The gym is not an answer for everyone. It's an answer for some people. It has a space, but let's not get into that. I won't get on that soapbox. I could be here for days on that one. So movement, crucial, absolutely crucial. And I would say, I don't think there was one piece of my healing that was more dominant than anything else, but movement was the first piece of my healing from cancer. It was the first piece, not what I expected. Yeah, sorry, I'm turning away from the camera. I don't quite know why I move here. Not what I expected at all. So yeah, movement. And if you're not someone who moves, you start with sitting in a chair, moving your wrists, your ankles, your legs. You go and walk around your garden for 5 or 10 minutes, or you go and walk around the block if you don't have a garden for 5 or 10 minutes, and then you walk back, and that starts to build up your movement program. You keep it simple, you keep it consistent, and you do it every single day. Boom. Next one, meditation and energy work, another crucial part of my healing from cancer. So again, let's keep this simple. Daily practice, that's the important thing, the consistency. Everybody says, oh, I don't have time to meditate. And these days, I think, how can you not have time? It's the thing that keeps me sane. So 2 minutes in the toilet. If you've got a watch like this, you could put a stopwatch on, or just don't do the time thing. Just go in there and close your eyes and focus on your breathing. Do that every single day until you build up the time. And you don't need to be meditating for hours on end. I have studied various different meditations for 30 years, nearly 30 years. And the conclusion I've come to, the people who I like the best around teaching about meditation, if anyone knows about Abraham Hicks, and they say 10 to 20 minutes maximum daily. I agree. Having done the meditation where I'm sat there for hours, you don't get more benefit for sitting there longer. So we live busy lives. If we wanted to be monks on mountaintops, That's the path we would have chosen, but we didn't and we haven't. So this is what we do. So 2 minutes, build up to 5, build up to 10, but make it daily. So you are going to have quite a few things to do each day, but you can shunt that into the time period that works for you. Mental mindset. This is so key. Get to know what's going on in here. Find out what you're thinking. No, you don't have to track every single thought that goes through your head, but start to pay attention to what you're thinking about and what is coming out of your mouth. Because what you're saying into the world is being said back to you. And what you're thinking in your head is being thought back to you. So we need to get conscious on what's going on in that space. One of the ways that we can do this, one of the ways I like, is journaling. I see journaling as a slightly different space to meditation. So I try and do a bit of both. If I'm short on time, the things I will do every day are move and meditate. That's not negotiable. And then I will add in journaling. I'm usually writing anyway, because I tend to do a lot of writing for posts and things. So, but that can really help you get to know what's going on in your head, which then links us neatly to number 4, mood, emotions. I keep forgetting, and I really should do a whole video on the emotions, because they link with the thoughts. Let's not get too technical, and there are different schools of thought around this, and one teacher says this and another teacher says that. Just get to know both spaces, get to know what you're thinking, and tune in to your body and how you're feeling, because how you're feeling is going to dictate how your day goes. Now, the key here is not to drop into what I have heard and love the term toxic positivity. People, please don't go there. We're human beings. We're meant to have a whole gamut of emotions. That probably isn't the right word, but you know what I mean. We're meant to have a full range of emotions. That is the point of being a human being. We're not meant to be just super happy sunshine all the time. And even though some of us might look like that on social media, I can guarantee it's not always like that. And also, stuff goes on in yourself that you don't necessarily want to share all over social media. Things that you're working, I know this is true for me, things that I'm working out about my place in the world, about how I feel about myself. I don't want to just pour all of that onto social media all the time, because it's not helpful necessarily. I'm not looking for sympathy. I don't think that's helpful. I want to kind of understand myself and what comes up for me and work through it. So the emotions are so key. And I'm just thinking about how, for me, it's been a massive game changer, because I'm a very emotional person. So if I am not expressing and engaging my emotions in a healthy way for me, they're going to cause havoc somewhere in life. So this is where the journaling can come in, because sometimes I'll write out how I'm feeling. Sometimes I'll just sit with it. I'll go, oh, feeling a bit angry right now. Okay, press pause. What's going on? Where's this coming from? And this is not about blame. So if your emotions are linked to a situation, please see my post earlier about not taking things personally. Go back, read that one. Yeah, this is not about assigning blame. This is about taking responsibility for how you feel. Yes, something can come at us in life, but we always have choice about how we feel in relation to it. We're not taught this in life, and so we constantly live in a state of explosion, reaction, and so on it goes. The power, the real sense of self-empowerment is when we can start to really get a sense of how we're feeling. Be with that emotion, feel it, express it in a way that feels empowering for us. Try not to, this is what I have always said ever since I had cancer and I really began to understand the emotions. There are 3 options: suppress, express, and project. What you don't want to do is suppress, because that's going to cause a health issue down the line. Ideally, you don't want to project, because that creates a mess and starts to involve other people. What you really want to do is express. And maybe expressing it is just feeling it for yourself. So that's the emotional piece. And then we move on to meals. Eating. Yay. Everyone's favorite. We have to do that every day. We have to make that choice every day. Now, I am not an advocate of this diet or that diet. I totally disagree with that. If people start, if I see, I can't even speak. If I see people start to bang on about particular diets, I get very angry. Because no one size fits all, and no one size fits all through your entire life either. That's the other thing. So, just to give you a little insight into my nutritional journey, eating red meat saved my life when I had menstrual hemorrhaging that nearly killed me. It was, and I did everything else. So, before all of the self-righteous plant-based people start shouting at me, I tried everything else first. And it was red meat, and I was a vegetarian. So I was a vegetarian prior to this experience. This was in my early 20s. And it was eating red meat that saved my life, that literally brought me back to life and rebalanced out my body. So I'm not going to go into that story anymore here. Now, fast forwards several years, and I had cancer. So at that point, I needed to strip all of the, I don't want to say unclean food because I don't think of it like that. But basically, I needed to go on a very strict plant-based diet for that period of time. Well, I did it for 6 months. My body absolutely hated it, because by this point, I'd been happily eating meat and feeling good. And eating the meat was not the cause of the cancer before you go down that path. So for 6 months, I was on a very strict plant-based diet, but my system hated it. It really, really hated it. It wasn't for me at all. So I was very happy when I could start eating meat again. And now I eat a balance. I eat meat when I feel like eating meat. I eat plants when I feel like eating plants, and anything in between. I pay attention on an intuitive level. I check that I am getting a balance. If I start to feel like my sugar cravings are through the roof, it's usually because I'm not getting enough animal protein. And so then I have to modify. If I start to find myself craving lots of carbs, it's because I'm not getting enough animal protein. So I have to check in and modify that. So my suggestion here is get educated on what the foods do in your body. And I don't mean the diets. I mean, protein does this, carbohydrates do this, fruit does this, vegetables do this. And then make your choices about what to eat by listening to your intuition. So you've got the education. Best book I ever read, Potatoes Not Prozac. Can't remember the author's name. Read it in my 20s. Best book I ever read about learning to eat, because I'd come from borderline eating disorder land. Another video. It's a lot of health issues back here. And so Potatoes Not Prozac taught me how to eat. It taught me what the foods did in the body and why I needed them. Great book. I might try and add it as a comment below the video if I remember to go and look up who the author was. So eating with intuition, eating with joy. I don't believe cakes and chocolate are bad. I totally disagree with that. I think they're food for the soul, and the soul needs food. I love dark chocolate, absolutely love it. So I'm not going to be giving that up anytime soon. Okay, last section, me time. This is the bit where you kind of tune into the everything. What are your hopes and dreams for life? Get them written down, even if you don't know how you're going to create them. How are you doing something every day that is purely just for you, just for fun, doesn't necessarily mean anything in life, has no particular purpose, doesn't benefit anyone else? Are you doing that? Because that is so key. Remind yourself why you're alive. Joy. What brings you joy? This is different for different people. I, for one, don't like alcohol. I don't drink. I'll have the odd glass every now and again, but I'm not an in quotes drinker. So I can't stand going out on those nights out where people are really drunk, and it's my idea of hell. But for you, that might be the thing you absolutely love. I love going to the theatre. I love going out for a really nice meal in great company where we can hear each other speak. Don't like being in a place I can't. I love walking barefoot in the garden, on the beach, Figure out, if you don't already know, what you just love. That's just purely you. It's not about anyone else. It's not about helping anyone. It's not about being of value in the world. You know, it's just, it could be frivolous. There's the word, frivolous. And that's it. Those are my 6 magic modules for self-healing. And that is exactly what we work on in Supercharge Your Life. 6 sessions with me, and we work on all of those areas. We tweak, we set you up in a program so that at the end of 6 weeks, you have a blueprint to work from. And the whole package starts with me using my clairvoyance. We look and then we talk and we make choices. And that sets you up for living the best life you can live, whatever it is you want to do with your life. This is going to give you the space to be able to do that. Because without all of those components, and you need all of them, it's not just one piece. Without all of those components, you won't be fully functioning, happy, healthy human being and be able to go out in the world, be of value if you want to be of value, or go and climb that mountain you want to climb, get on that stage you want to be on, whatever it is. So I can't speak. Supercharge Your Life is 999. DM me the word super if you want more information or you want to have a chat about whether it might work for you. I want it to work for you. I don't want to work with people I can't help. So message me if you are interested. Have a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Bye.